Hi everyone. I'm going to give you a quick update on my visit today at the fertility clinic. Um, my husband's home and we're going to watch the Ravens football game, so it won't be long. So today we went to the fertility clinic and we did something called the IVF talk. So what that is that they sit down with you and tell you step by step of what's going to happen and how things are going to pan out. So they gave me my husband is turning the light on because it looks dark in here, a flashlight on me. This make pretend schedule, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not real. It's like just a pan out of how my cycle month will look. So I found out that more than likely I won't be doing anything as far as transfer or egg retrieval until mid to late October. So I start birth control pills when I start my cycle, which won't be until the 28th or 29th of this month. So she told me I would start the birth control pills then, and that would be maybe 21 days, maybe less. The maximum she said is 21 days and or less. So she said she could stop me on the 14th, she could stop me on the 19th. It just depends on how things are looking. So once I stop my birth control pills, then I will do the first day that I stop, I go in and I get a ultrasound and blood work done. And I'm looking down because I'm looking at the paper. And she just, and my consents will be due that day. So I'll sign the forms and things like that to consent to the IVF. And then I'm assuming that's the last day. I'm sorry, let me back up. I'll call them the first day that my cycle starts, and I'll start my birth control pills. The last day that I stop them, I'll go in um, and get blood work and ultrasound done um, after the last pill. So that will probably be like the next day. And then I'm not quite sure. I believe it's the next day. I will start the injections. There will be 2 injections I'll take at night, and I'll do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For 12 days. So I'll do that for 12 days. And then on the 13th day, I'll get the trigger shot. And on the 14th day, I'll do the antibiotic, start the antibiotics. On the 15th day, I will do the egg retrieval. And she said the next day, and at that time, my husband will be able to give a sample of his sperm so that they can do the ICSIs. And she said that he doesn't have to do it there at the center. He actually can do it home, which is what he prefer. I think most men prefer to do it at home. It's a lot more comfortable. It's just that we needed to make sure we get the sample in within 2 hours of him collecting it. So she said more than likely we'll do it in the morning. So my appointment will be in the morning. So we'll get there and they'll retrieve my eggs and they'll place the sperm in my eggs and we'll see what happens. She was also saying that every day for like 2 days, I'll get a report, a fertile report. to see whether or not the eggs are fertilizing. And she gave me some good examples that they may get like 15 eggs, and maybe by the second day there may only be 7 good eggs. And as time goes on, it could drop. The amount of eggs that I have could drop. She said on the 18th day, which would be the day that they would do embryo transfer, for a 3-day transfer. The only way they would do a 3-day transfer if I have less than 4 eggs. So if I have 3 eggs, they'll do the 3-day transfer. And because of my age, I'm 37, then they would put 2 eggs in if I have to do it on day 3 of egg retrieval. They would just do 2 eggs if I have less than 4 eggs. If I have more than 4 eggs and they're looking good and they're holding on, they will try to shoot for a 5 to 6 day transfer, and they will only transfer 1 egg. And then the day from 18 days from egg retrieval is when they will do pregnancy tests. Now, I'm going to back up a little bit, because what I did not know is that starting day 4 of the injections, I will be going to the doctors almost every day in the morning to get blood work and ultrasound. So that was kind of interesting to find out today, because I had no clue that that's what I would be doing. So that was interesting. We also today did blood work for our genetic disease testing, so that we could find out if there were any genetic disease such as sickle cell and things like that, whether we were carriers or not. She explained to us that if both of us are carriers of one of the genetic diseases, it could be a possibility that it could pass on to the baby. Either the baby could be a carrier, or the baby could be it can have the full-blown disease. They also explained to us that if I think after retrieval, in fertilization, they take some cells from off the side of the embryo and test it to see if it has the disease or if it's a carrier. She said if it's a carrier, they still will do transfer. If it has one of the genetic diseases, they won't transfer that egg. So they test the eggs before they even transfer them into the uterus to make sure they are not, they have no genetic diseases. So, which is pretty good, because then you get to know the possibilities of your child having any of these diseases. But if they're carriers, they still will transfer. So she said if one of us is a carrier and the other one isn't, then the chances of the baby having it is slim to none. So that was good news. So me and him both did the blood work for that today, and she said that takes about 3 weeks to come back. We did before the last, I keep looking up because the game is on. Before this appointment, we went to the other appointment. I went to the other appointment on the 5th, and that's when I did the mock and the sonohistogram and the AFC. And then that's following Saturday, because the 5th was a Friday. So on the 6th, we went and did our infectious disease testing, and they did a couple more hormone tests on me as well. So that was done. So we're almost there. Right now, we don't have any other tests to run. She went over the insurance information with us, and she explained to me that more than likely my insurance will be approved, because we have a male factor and a female factor as far as the infertility. She said, so they will approve it. It's just that Blue Cross and Blue Shield are a little slow at doing things. So she said, this is only 1 week into it. So she said, by next week, we should have an answer whether or not we, of their approval. So its authorization is right now saying pending. So she also explained to me, which kind of made me feel relieved, is that when it's close to the time for me to start taking the injections, that my nurse will call the pharmacy and have them send out my injection, my medication. So I don't have to worry about it. That they will call it into the pharmacy and it will be shipped to me, and I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm calling in enough time so that it would come in the appropriate amount of time for me to do the shots. So that made me feel good and relieved about it. She said they'll come in the mail. She'll let me know when they're on their way, and I'll get a more I'm sorry, my husband is distracting me. He's over here cheating silently. A more dead on schedule of my plans of what I have to do as far as when I come into the doctors and things like that. So that is exciting. I can't wait to see that schedule. She said when I call the nurse on the day that my first day of my cycle, she will map out the schedule then, and she'll email it to me. So I'll have it, and I'll come on and show you guys my schedule. Next week, which is the 17th, we have injection classes, and after the injection classes, we'll just be waiting for my cycle to come on so we can start our pills. Until then, I'm just playing the waiting game and hoping that things go well. She did say to me that right now I had 13 eggs, so she felt like that I was going to have a good amount of eggs to retrieve come retrieval time. So that made me feel good as well. And I was really excited about that. So I guess that's it for now. I don't have much to say. I am excited about Nikki Proverbs 31 online baby shower. So I will be attending that and ordering her something from off of Amazon so it can be delivered to her. I wanted to give a little shout out to my BNB friend on BNB is Baby and Bump, and it has a form that I talk to her online with them and offline in private chats. Her name is MJ, and she's pretty cool. So I just wanted to say, hey MJ. There's another young lady that I talked to on BNB, and her name is Cutie Q. Hi, Cutie Q. And JCM and J-Rep. These ladies are really cool. I talk to them all the time on the forum. We keep each other encouraged and give each other advice and support, and we're discussing where we are in our cycles right now and what's next to come, and just anticipating our BFPs. So I just wanted to say hello to those ladies, and this will be our year. So keep your fingers and your toes crossed, and we'll have our BFP soon. So I am signing off so I can watch the football game with my husband and he can make all the noise he want to make. And I will talk to you guys next week after the injection class and give you an update on that. Until then, good night. Say good night.
Really? Good night.